Oh,
We're not. Okay. So we are live.
well, it's about time.
Yeah. Been waiting for a
There's
long
a
time.
girl. Basic. Rope binding. That's a little.
All right. Stop.
All right.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Yeah,
Go,
so-
talk like a normal human. Stop all that.
all right. I'll talk about it in a human.
So,
I'm not supposed to talk about what's right in front of me either.
no. Let's start the show. Just-
All right. You set the show.
okay.
Man,
you're getting
mine flash.
you're getting kind of intense. Okay. So if you're watching, this is the Frigid Zone, as you already know, and we are live. We've been censored. Forget the whole spiel. I'm not gonna do that. The basic YouTuber nonsense. Screw it. We got some important topics. First topic is I've noticed that I don't even know how to pronounce her fucking name. What's this hoe's name?
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis and
Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
all right, you read the article. Since you're already there.
Mila Kunis, hot. Ashton Kutcher, fag, explain Ukraine invasion to caring kids. Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher's eldest child, Wyatt, Okay, anyways, Wyatt has offered to donate books and clothes. A source exclusively tells us.
All right, so what they're saying they're going to do is they're going to give. So they want everybody to donate to the Ukraine conflict, and they're going to give. They're going to match the donations.
Why the fuck would we do
So
that?
here's I got a better option. How about instead of sending the Ukraine money, how about we take Ashton Kutcher and Mila, whatever her fucking name is, give them AR-15s, actually give them Kalashnikovs, and send them to Ukraine to fight. I would feel better with that instead of spending my tax
I think
money.
that Mila would probably know how to use one from her Russian upbringing, her Ukrainian upbringing. But giving Ashton Kutcher a gun, man, he probably shoot himself in the face.
As I was saying, I would feel much better.
You're against the sanctions. I am too. You're against sanctions. Thanks for throwing me in the face. All right, so you're against all the sanctions.
I'm against you interrupting me constantly. And because of that, we don't have this on the screen. Go ahead, finish. Say what you're saying.
I was finished.
So as I was saying, we send both of them to the Ukraine, have them fight. I would feel like that would be more of a sacrifice than a couple millionaires spending money, because money's nothing to them. They're fucking millionaires. Money is a lot to me because I'm not a millionaire. So go fight Ashton Kutcher. Go fight Mila, whatever the fuck your name is.
Ashton Kutcher.
Clever. Real clever.
Clavier.
So yeah. I'm not down with the whole Russian-Ukraine thing. It's obviously the you-know-who's are behind it.
Look at the chapstick you just threw at me.
You-know-who's are obviously behind it. What do you think about that?
You know who's that rhymes with who's?
Yep.
Especially the J.
Yeah.
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
Think about it. They're behind it. What the fuck are you asking me a question?
Even when
they have the interest there, they're gonna protect it.
even when you don't want, when you're like, please don't be the Jews this time. Please don't be the Jews. Please, and you look into it and you're like, fuck, it's them again. How is this possible? Every time, stop, just stop. I don't know how they do it.
They just do. Oh, I don't know. Hillary had a fucking a pretty good idea about it in Mein Kampf, which I stopped reading because it got kind of outlandish, but it's just like
It did not. It got more honest. But we can't talk about that book on the show, by the way. Just so you can know.
all right, then I will not.
We can't even say the name.
I sent this to you, and you said, "Oh, a million people have seen this before." And you said you prophetically told
what?
Alex.
What?
It's your show.
It's your show too. No. But let's not start doxing people, please.
All right.
You gotta stand. You were in host mode a second ago. We gotta stay in host mode, okay? You weren't talking about anything personal. We gotta leave personal life out of it, please. I'm sure that people watch it, but they're seeing this. Okay. So let's get it started. Do I not have sound? Oh yeah, we do.
We have more oil than anybody, okay? And it's an incredible thing that it's happened over the last few years, a lot of great things, and you're paying, what, $2 a gallon for your gasoline? That's okay. You know what that's like? That's like a tax cut. It's bigger than a tax cut. If Biden got in, you'd be paying $7, $8, $9. Then they say, get rid of your car.
So go ahead and talk about that. Why aren't you talking?
Later on in the video, you see like places like even in
prices at
Not-
some local
are not
gas
gonna-
stations
yeah,
that are
right
way
here.
above
Okay.
the average. Well, across the street from the Beverly Center, one of the most expensive places in LA, drivers are paying this. Nearly $7 for regular unleaded, nearly $8 for premium. Drivers said they were surprised and not in a good way.
We did it. We did.
Hope Trump's not really into country music, but he did tell you so. And gas was lower. He's talking about like
Anybody.
Trump's talking about like major cities, the $2. You know, in the more rural places, it was like under 99 cents for a gallon of gas. And everybody's saying, "Oh, you can't blame the Biden administration." But it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't blame anybody. You know, if you're religious, but if you want to you gotta blame somebody.
Yeah.
You close down pipelines. You close down means to use oil in our United States of America, and you depend on foreign oil. Of course, the fucking gas prices are going to go up. They're going to keep going up.
Speaking of closing things down, so here's the deal. Now, companies like Netflix and McDonald's are joining in the fray of closing down their industry in Russia, which I think is a terrible idea because instead of Russian families watching Netflix and eating cheeseburgers, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be working out and doing pull-ups with their bears and practicing marksmanship instead of, watching Netflix and chilling.
Yeah, what the fuck is what am I watching right now?
So that's what's going to be happening.
Is that a brown bear assisting humans in doing exercise routines, calisthenics?
So yeah, what's going to happen is we're not breaking down their infrastructure. What we're doing is we're making their family ties much better. And hey, I don't care. As an American citizen, I don't care if Russia and Ukraine both just vanish from existence right now. You know what what I'd say? I would say whatever. I wouldn't care. But I do.
Like, how about that? Like, is that right?
Yeah. But I do care about the fact that they're making me pay so much money just to get back and forth. But looking deeply into it, we're looking to enter a conflict that's going to be the equivalent of Iraq with white people. This is going to last a long time. And I'm not even sure what the WMDs, the equivalent of the WMDs in this situation is, but I'm not liking it. What's the equivalent? What they're saying? What is Putin doing?
No, you can't equate this with any war that's happened in the Middle East. This is going against Russia, a world power. This is, I hate to say it, people, correct me, World War III. We're not going against a disorganized insurgency like the Taliban that existed in Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, whatever. Kuwait, no, we're going against a world power. It's going to be the end of one of our nations, or the nations. I don't know. I see Europe being kind of like Switzerland in World War II. I see them kind of being, mutual about it. Like, I don't really want to get involved, but let's let. If you think this is going to be like Iraq or Iran, I think you're underestimating Russia.
Okay, so let me tell you what I mean. So by Iraq and Iran, both white people, what I mean is it's going to be a war that's going to last generations and generations and generations, and they're going to find more and more reasons to expand the conflict throughout the Slavic countries. That's what I mean. I don't mean that Russia has a shitty army. Russia's a nuclear superpower. So I'm not saying that they're a shitty army. I'm saying that our kids are going to be able to join the military to fight against the Russian army because they're going to keep creating more and more boogeyman's. Like with Putin, they're encroaching on his territory. Most Ukrainians they all speak Russian. They all speak Russian and English.
Wait. I thought the majority of them spoke Russian.
That's what I just said.
Oh.
They speak the same countries, and most of them have Russian family members. They cross the border to go to have holidays. We're looking at the equivalent of if we said Justin Trudeau was encroaching on American soil, we got to go and glass them and unite them. Why not just let them unite? Let Vladimir Putin unite Russia and the Ukraine, because what it's going to do is there are people who don't want to fight. It's just going to allow them. You know what I mean? Like, we're shedding more blood by stopping him from uniting Ukraine instead of fighting, because we are the bad guys here.
We are the bad guys here. I mean, so many of the Ukraine people, the Russians, happen to live in Ukraine. They're all Russians, like you said.
Most of them are national Russians.
Yeah, the national Russians. They don't care about getting taken over the Ukraine. I think it's a publicity stunt. All these pictures of these people. Oh, we're gonna fight for the Ukraine. And also publicity stunt. Russian people in Russia, Russian nationals of Russia protesting the taking over the Ukraine. I don't know. It seems like a little bullshit to me.
And I'm
Maybe
tired.
I'm just being cold.
I'm tired of Joe Biden making these sacrifices for us. He's saying we're gonna have to bite the bullet on oil. We're gonna have to deal with our borders being open. We're gonna have to start because honestly,
That would only be in his best interest. Of course, right? Of course, he's gonna say that.
well, yeah, actually, Jen Psaki said that we have no choice, and he's saying he tried to earlier. He tried to take the stance that under his regime, we had the best oil prices. He tried to say that.
Wait,
He was taking credit for the beginning of when he got in office, when Trump had when we had stockpiles.
when he
of oil.
first got in office, when it was like under $2, even in like our neck of the woods, let's say the Chicago area,
Yeah,
he's taking credit for that. Okay.
Yeah.
It conveniently goes up. Okay.
but I mean, there are idiots out there who believe it. That's the fucked up part. There are fools out there who
They're
think
starting to come around. I have a lot of Democratic friends that are starting to come around. Like, why did I vote for this guy?
I don't know. I can't deal with people who don't see that this is I ran with white people. They were anti-war when it was Bush doing it, but now that it's Biden, they're talking about sending freaking bartenders out with Molotov cocktails to fight Russian soldiers.
And
You know what I
about
mean?
Iran, talking about fighting with Iran too. Are they talking about fighting with Iran too?
No.
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 There was a conflict a lot of people probably forgot about with Iran where an embassy building was blown up, probably by the Taliban in Iran. It was under Trump, but nothing got done about it because nobody was really killed. But there are so many people right now talking about Biden is going to war with Iran. He wants to go to war with Iran against Russia and stuff like that.
But yeah, I'm not going to war. So
What if you're made to?
I'm not going to war. Let's just say I'm not
What if you're
going.
drafted?
They're not drafting.
Strong
They're
man.
not.
You're a strong man.
They're not drafting anybody. Period.
Well, Joe Biden's in office. What about if a Republican willing to meet on both sides is elected says, yeah, we're gonna have the draft if it's actually World War III.
Look,
Some people are predicting.
can I? I don't know how to put this lightly. I don't know how to say this without insulting you. Also,
You always insult me. It's not a big
all right,
deal.
that is a stupid thing. You just said something really stupid.
All right.
A draft? No, it's stupid. Not if anyone else would have said it, I could ignore it. But it's stupid because you have a vast military knowledge. So to hear you say that is ridiculous to me.
I was for the draft when I was in the military.
Yeah, but think about this. What was our last? First off, how many contractors were in the Middle East with you?
Ooh, probably good third.
There's a lot. There's a reason for that. Because the military we don't draft anymore. We use contractors. Because, do you remember the Vietnam War?
Yeah, the last war with the draft.
Yeah. And how did it go?
A lot of people died for little to no reason.
It went terribly because they drafted a bunch of pretty much
Kids.
kids who had no experience and also were lived a very pampered life. They were more involved in doing this whole stupid hippie stuff. They're more involved in social justice than anything else. And so if we were to draft kids from or people from this generation, it would be the exact same thing.
Now I can understand why you call me stupid.
Because they are obsessed with social justice, and it would be the exact same
You
thing.
call me stupid prematurely. I'm not saying drafting every kid out of high school. I'm saying take a look at a person's background and drafting them. I'm saying just drafting all the liberal idiots that just graduated from high school or almost graduating from high school. How about looking at people's backgrounds, looking at their experience, their job experience, what they're doing right now for a living, things like that, and then drafting them? You assume I'm talking about the Vietnam War, where they're drafting these fucking drug using hippies.
How does our military work? Our military usually wants younger people. They're not gonna take some.
They used to, but not necessarily anymore because they know the younger people are the fucking idiots. The younger people that stay fucking private for first class for 6 years.
I feel like you're.
Not promotion.
I feel like you're overestimating you're underestimating the stupidity of our government. Our government wants an 18-year-old fresh out of college. I mean, fresh out of high school is what they want. That's what they want. Because they want to mold him, and they want him to say yes, sir, and not think and be a machine that's gonna go forth. They don't want to take a 30-year-old carpenter who could take apart
30-year-old carpenter by trade.
a 30-year-old carpenter who can take apart an M16 and put it back together with his eyes closed.
They would be more likely to say yes, sir, and yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, than a fucking hippie out of fucking whatever you consider hippie nowadays out of high school. We have to train them. We have to train them just to be able to speak properly, to have fucking manners. No other fucking place in this world. It's the bottom, the complete bottom.
So yeah, we're back in the same boat that we were in before. If we start a draft, because again, they're not going to. They don't want, and they definitely don't want a patriotic military. They don't want to give people like you guns, because they want a constant military presence at the White House. If there is January 6th type fiasco that happens, and they got a military presence, and all those guys who are supposed to protect the White House are patriots, they're not going to turn those guns on the fellow Americans. It's just not going to happen. So they don't want living, thinking, breathing Americans. They want drones. The perfect drones are these SJWs because they don't think about concepts. They just do what they're told.
The sheeple graduates out of high school.
Yeah, that's what I think they want.
I believe that's what the Biden administration wants. What the Democratic administration wants. Yeah.
I feel like that's what a government wants. That's why we go to high schools to try to enroll people in military. They don't go to work to work sites for construction workers to draft.
I think you need to fact check that a little bit. They actually do that a lot, especially the younger places, younger construction sites and stuff like that, and people that are in school, maybe not college, but just like they're getting their certificates to be a technician, things like that, an engineer.
So they go to you said certificates. They go to school.
Target colleges and trade schools. Yes.
Yeah, but that's not
colleges, high schools.
So they target young people. Is what you're saying?
Young people, but a lot of times a smart recruiter will target people that have already taken initiative to do trade school after high school than just the 17-year-old, almost seniors in high school.
That's still what I'm saying. They target young people, so they go to trade schools. Yes, they go to colleges. They go to high school.
Yeah, but after high school, they already had an initiative to try to go into a trade and say, hey, maybe you can do this for the military, as opposed to, hey, you haven't even graduated from your senior year yet. Why don't you sign up with us and everything will be just fine. You know,
same thing.
Mom, look at me.
Same thing. Our government wants young people to serve. That's how it is. That's how it always will be, because they want to mold your mind. They don't want you to come in with already molded mind.
Yeah.
So you're telling me. So what you're saying is they're going to construction sites that do hard labor, just fucking big jack white dudes throwing cinder blocks around. They're going there to recruit?
I'm saying it's an American tradition to go to high schools before kids have graduated from high school to try to recruit them by the time they're 17. But I'm not. You're trying to say that they don't.
I didn't say that.
Try to recruit.
I didn't say that. No,
30.
that's not. I'm saying. Wait, what did you just say?
You're trying to say they don't try to recruit people under the age of 30.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. They want to recruit people under the age of 30. Yes, I said they're not going to a 30-year-old carpenter who knows how to take an M16 apart with his eyes closed. That's what I said at the beginning.
You might want to look at the recruiter and maybe what branch of the military they're in.
So you're saying, so where would you go? Being a military guy, if you're a recruiter, where would you go?
Where I would go if I was a recruiter, man, I don't know. I think it'd be too nice to be a recruiter. I would go to construction sites. I would go to Mason, not Masons, not say like the Freemasons or the stonemasons. People doing masonry. I would go to people who have been doing armed security for years, out of high school, out of college. I would be going to police officers that, a lot of police officers that actually serve before they become police officers. Maybe police officers who have been pushed into it because their father was a police cop, their grandfather was a cop, blah, 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 and say, hey, maybe we can throw you a couple extra stripes to join the military right now. I would be going after those people. And I think I would be logical to do so.
Okay, so you're saying you would do that, but why isn't that the norm? Why don't you find anyone doing that? Because I've never seen anyone do that.
I don't know, maybe it's a pipe dream. But the recruiter that recruited me, he didn't just try to recruit me. He went all the way to your house. Went under somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, every day I get this story. Here we go. Go. Do it.
Somebody I knew went all the way to their house, about an hour and a half away, a couple times to try to recruit them. But he also was not just trying to recruit people coming out of high school, which we were both out of high school by then. He was the most dorkiest guy in the world. But he was trying to recruit all kinds of people because he knew that normal kids out of high school don't want to be recruited. No anti-establishment, no anti-military. The only ones that would were, they're raised Republican, they're raised conservative. They already had a goal because their father did it, or their grandfather did it. Now recruiters just target high schools. It's their job to do that.
It's not now. They've always done it.
Always done it, even since World War II, right? Even since World War I. Those are some of the most patriotic Americans that probably exist. The existing World War II veterans. They were not all targeted right out of high school. A lot of them volunteered. I mean, even in the Vietnam War, didn't Elvis volunteer? He volunteered and later on in the prime of his life.
I wouldn't know.
And served in the Vietnam conflict. But it didn't take a recruiter to do that. I guess there's always going to be patriotic Americans. There's always going to be coward Americans. So if a draft came out right now, Gemini, you would just try to dodge it.
They wouldn't draft me.
All right, so they wouldn't draft you.
I'm too big. I got too many medical problems. I got high blood pressure.
Right. So would you try to volunteer if you thought it was a stupid war?
No.
That maybe we could win?
No, wouldn't volunteer at all. What you mean with this thing? First off, I don't.
This thing could progress a lot.
First off, I don't want to no, not at all. Not even one bit. You want to know why? I'm gonna let this UFC star tell you why.
In life, like you think, yes, it's great for me and a small circle of people that I can help, but this shit is so minuscule. You have people out there being oppressed by governments. You have shit. We fall into that category, believe it or not. If you want me to get real political, the Federal Reserve is a corrupt institution. There, I went out and said it. These people.
You got to realize there are presidents who've been shot for for saying things like that, and this celebrity got away with it.
Or soon to be presidents, yeah.
Control our dollar, brother, and we didn't vote for them. Think about it. You got 13 board members voting on the value of the dollar. Did we vote for that? No, it's corrupted. So for me to actually be able to talk about something greater than fighting is more purposeful than anything I could talk about related to fighting. And so I'm grateful to be able to do that. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you're just they say shut up and fight. You know what I mean? Well, you know what? If you don't want to hear that shit, turn off the TV and watch the fight. You don't got to watch my interviews. Then turn them off then. If you, instead of telling me to shut up, why don't you just stop listening? Because there's a lot of people that agree with what I'm saying.
So this may not be a big deal what he's saying to you,
No, it's very patriotic.
but it's bold, very bold. We're gonna watch the rest. But think about this. Celebrities are usually quick to take the knee and bow to their not just corporate masters, but their overseas masters and their small hatted masters. They're usually quick to bow to them. Like we see with John Cena, he was speaking Mandarin like somebody put a chip in his brain and just hit it. And LeBron James always just saying the most ridiculous things, anti-American. These celebrities and these athletes are usually the worst. So to hear something coming from a guy like this, it's unbelievable.
Do you know sometimes they start out a little conservative, a little libertarian, but then all of a sudden they say, "Oh, I have to apologize for that. I actually endorse the Liberal Party." They change their mind constantly about that type of stuff.
So I feel like unless someone puts a gun to this guy's head, he's not going to do it. Because he's not going to lose his job.
This guy, I'm talking about other guys, but yeah, this guy,
Because I feel like his boss.
he seems like he has fire in his eyes, metaphorically speaking. Just like, yeah, he knows what he believes. What were you saying? Sorry.
Nothing.
Interruption?
About some of my political views, and I'm happy to talk about them and debate about them. There was some wise dude way back in the day. It was either Socrates or Plato or Hippocrates or...
I'm not gonna lie. He talks like he has just one tooth in his mouth.
somebody, but he said, if you do not partake in your government, you will be ruled by people who are stupider than you.
That's
And
true.
That's what he said. Now, it was give or take a couple of words.
Paraphrase.
It's paraphrased, but if we
That's true.
What is somebody in the background?
That's true, and that's He said it was a paraphrase.
paraphrase. I think somebody else put paraphrase, didn't they?
Yeah,
Paraphrase.
but it's true, and that's what we have going now. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen Nancy Pelosi and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
How many teeth are in his head? He's quick. He's sharp though with that. He knew that paraphrase was coming out of the audience.
But he's a southern gentleman. So that's how they are. You know what? I'm surprised that he doesn't have a cup. One of these monster bottles aren't filled with like brown liquid that he's like every once in a while spitting into. Let me tell you this, Frady's or every once.
Maybe that's why he's so agitated right now. He's having a nicotine fit.
He doesn't have his chew. Dana White said I can't have no chew out here, so we got to make this quick.
Yeah, but he's more on fire because he's having his nicotine fit.
They probably were like, "Look, we know you're gonna have your nicotine fit. Do not name the. Do not." And he's like, "All right, make it quick."
Back in this fit.
people do not choose and are not active in conversations about what's going on in our government, well, then these idiots are going to control everything we do and we won't have a say in it. So yeah, I'm political because these people control me. And then you want to tell me that I can't talk and I have to shut up and fight and I can't talk about... No, I'm controlled completely by the government. I'm controlled completely by the value of the dollar.
Do you remember those
And I get
days?
paid-
Look at his arm. Remember those? He had a bruise right on his bicep. Remember those days?
Yeah.
When you throw a hook or something, and somebody else throws a punch, and they just punch you in the bicep.
You've done that to me at least like 3 or 4 times.
Okay?
I actually don't miss fighting at all. I used to, but now that I'm older, I don't.
I don't get
Me
paid
and my-
in pure gold.
What?
Me and my friend fight all the time. Still fun. I'm
I
just
get
out of
paid-
shape. I'm out of shape. Are you in shape? You in pretty good shape? Like cardio wise?
Yeah.
This guy looks like he's in pretty damn good shape.
Dollars, and so I have a say about, in my opinion, I have a say about political issues. So
Well, Saturday night, it'll be the minuscule part of your life that we'll be focusing on. I know you kind of said it's going to be bloody, it's going to be messy. I guess, is that what you're expecting when you play this thing out? Is it?
All right, so there's more. There's way more.
Yeah, there's 10 minutes more. But is it relevant? Is it gonna make are they gonna make him look stupid or
No one
does he stand his ground?
no one argues with because you're dealing with. First off, I was saying before you interrupted me, he's not ever gonna have to apologize for what he says because his boss is Dana White, and Dana White has come out against the the thing you have to put in your
Actually,
arm.
I don't know what. Can you explain
I was explaining before you interrupted me.
again?
So as I was saying, he was firmly against the you can probably tell by the picture what I mean. we can't say it, but Dana White came out and he was talking about, another thing that we can't say that helps fight against that other thing we can't say. So his boss is out there saying radical stuff too. So for Dana White to come and say you can't name the who's would be really hypocritical.
He hasn't yet named the who's.
No, he didn't name them, but he got real close. There's a point where he gets real close.
I don't think we named them yet today.
Not today. Oh, not on the show, but I usually before I wake up, I just start screaming the name. I'm having a nightmare. I'm like, the who's.
The who's. I'm taking over the road. They're gonna kill us in our sleep.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty cool that we got a guy who
Unrelated. You know the game Pig?
Huh?
You know the game Pig, when you have basketball?
What?
It's the game Pig, or Horse. When you play basketball and then you get a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played the other game yesterday. Well, we use a different word. We got out soon.
What was
kind of funny?
What was the word?
Well, first it was whore. WHORE.
Kamala Harris?
And then I won.
Wait, was it Kamala Harris?
Yeah,
Was that the
yeah, sure. And I was like, I won, actually. I'm not even that good at basketball. I suck. It's like I won. I was like, man, I whored all you guys out. The next one was Jew.
We're not supposed to name them. All right.
Man, I made Jews out of you.
Speaking of whore, check this out. Whoops. Oh, we got no sound here for some reason.
I don't even know what she is. I don't know what ethnicity she is.
Where have you
I guess it doesn't matter.
Where have you been? They
Indian,
talk about it constantly.
Indian, black, white.
Yeah, Indian. She's Indian and black.
Order what they want and vote.
And she reminds me. Okay, I feel like if she were to have an acting career and they redid the Cosby Show, I feel like she would make a good Cosby wife.
It's almost identical.
They don't look anything alike. They don't look nothing alike actually, but it just fits. That it seems like they look. Oh, you mean she looks like Cosby? What do you mean? Are you saying she looks like Cosby?
Looks like she could be a Cosby. Oh,
Wait,
Cosby.
I got something for you. Then, if you think she looks like a Cosby,
And she talks like Cosby.
she could definitely be a Cosby. Let's get that off the screen and finish. Let's
Get
be
that
adults here.
abomination up.
Vote, they order what they want, and in this case, they got what they asked for.
U.S. crude oil prices hitting a new 7-year high.
A wave of smash and grab robberies in California and
They
nationwide.
got what they asked for.
We just have this jobs report.
Whoa. I see 194,000. That is real low. A stark reminder of what defeat really looks
They
like.
got what they asked for.
The Russians are moving towards decapitating Ukraine.
Shortages will unfortunately be with us again.
This would not happen if President Trump was in the White House.
I have mixed feelings about that.
About what?
Trumpers to say that things would be so much different.
And I
if he was
agree.
in the office.
I agree.
That they would be so much different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like he might be in the same, not in the exact same boat, but like in the same Navy.
Okay, explain to me how things would be worse.
I think it would be worse.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be worse. I think they'd be better.
Yeah, I think things would be better.
Yeah. Be better, but not like completely, ultimately just completely correct.
No, I
I
think,
think he would be going through a lot of struggles.
but I think we wouldn't have a war on our hands, a potential world-ending war.
Right, because like you told me before, Trump and Putin have had kind of mutual agreements on things, and they would understand each other better. Trump would understand him better, and know how to deal with him better. That's your words to me.
Those weren't my words. Those words don't even sound coherent.
Don't laugh. But seriously, you did say that you said Trump has an idea of how Putin's mind works.
Well, yeah, he's done business all around the world, so he knows how different cultures deal with other people.
So you're talking about vast politicians, not just Putin, and he would, no matter what
his
country acted out.
His tactics changed depending on where he was in the world.
No matter what country acted out, whether it was Russia or any other country, he would have a better idea of combating against it than the Biden administration does.
Yes. And again, if he was president, we wouldn't have a potential world-ending war on our hands. He knew Vladimir Putin had nukes, but never really threatened to use them ever. Russia's been pretty peaceful for the last couple decades, and I would argue they were peaceful even before then. But Joe Biden was poking the bear literally, and just had to go after Putin so he could have someone to blame. I think his disastrous economy on and his disastrous presidency on. That's what I think.
So
because he knows that he knew when this was over, when his term was up, he knew Trump was going in. But now that there's a war brewing, a war happening, does Trump want to be president? And will that sway the voters? Some people, I mean, Bush pretty much was president twice because there was a war happening, and people trusted in the president at the time. They didn't want to bring in someone new. So is that the effect he was going for another year?
All right, so Trump said, out of Trump's words, he said before the election happened, 2020, he said, Putin does not want me to get in. Now, do you think that was because he knew that Putin would try something if he wasn't in?
No.
He said Putin does not want me to get in. That's for damn
Just
sure.
said that, yeah.
Is that because he knew that if Biden got in, he would pull the shenanigans he's pulling right now?
I think
something similar.
Putin didn't want Joe Biden to be president.
No, he didn't want either of them. But Trump
No.
expressed clearly that he didn't want him to get in.
You gotta. Right. If you ask me a question, you gotta.
But you don't let me finish. You don't let me.
Oh, then finish.
No, I'm finished now. But sometimes you don't let me finish.
I let you finish all the time. All right. So So what Trump was doing was building the Keystone Pipeline. That would have been a blow to Russia, a huge blow to Russia, because that would have made it so America would have supplied 100% of itself with oil. Then Europe would have preferred to do business with America instead of Russia, and that would have been a giant disaster for Vladimir Putin. So he would be doing at least only 10% of the oil exchange that he would normally do. It would be gone. 75% of it, or probably a little more than 75%, will be gone in the blink of an eye of one presidency. But he got lucky that Joe Biden's a damn fool and doesn't mind embarrassing himself.
So it's an economical issue of why Putin really didn't want Trump to win.
Yeah,
and
just economic.
Was not really happy with Biden. It just the better of two evils for Vladimir Putin.
I feel like
Vladimir
Putin respected Trump, and he would prefer him to go win, but he knew it was going to hurt his pocket.
He knew that it would help him better if Trump did not get in. It would help him better.
It would help him, but it would hurt his pocket. He knew there'd be peace. He probably knew that if there was a conflict with Ukraine, that Trump probably wouldn't have did anything but keep the sanctions going or increase sanctions.
What the fuck are sanctions? I don't know what sanctions are, but what are sanctions? I mean, like the Chinese gave us sanctions during World War II. Sanctions generally do not help. They just add to the fire because either nation can take control of the sanctions. What the fuck? I mean, I have a friend right now who says we should get more involved in this war right now instead of
that friend.
sanctions.
Who? Oh my God! What friend said that?
I don't want.
Okay.
I don't want to dox.
Okay, don't dox. But tell that friend if they think we should get more involved in the war, to go enlist to fight in Ukraine right now.
He did. He's just bloodthirsty though. He's been out of a war for like 2 years.
Tell him to go. Tell him to go fight. Tell him to go get personally involved, and then we'll see how it feels.
Well, he can't because it's not up to him.
He can. He's got. Does he have any money?
No, he's a tech sergeant in the security forces.
Well, tell him to leave the military and go to Ukraine and fight as a mercenary. That's what he could do. He can give up everything.
You don't just simply leave the military.
He's saying we should give up everything. He should.
I don't know about everything. He said we should get more involved, which I disagreed with him about that.
Us getting more involved would be giving up everything.
No, I disagreed with him. I said we should not get involved. He said the sanctions are stupid. I agreed with him. The sanctions are stupid.
Sanctions are not stupid.
How do the sanctions benefit us?
The sanctions have kept Vladimir Putin in check for a good while, and the sanctions help us because prices of Russian goods go up. That means we get more. We have more income coming, and things are cheaper.
For now.
No, as long as we have the thing sanctioned. If you're selling wood and I sanction your wood and nobody's gonna buy it but me, I'm gonna make you pay a fee to bring in that wood to me. So I'd be charging you a delivery fee. So not only will you be delivering it to me, I'll be charging you a delivery fee as a sanction, and then I would buy it. So the price would be good for me.
So helping out the American economy for the time being is what you're saying.
Sanctions kept China from doing a lot of goofy stuff, and sanctions has kept Russia from doing a lot of goofy stuff. We need to actually start sanctioning countries that are close to us, like Mexico and just sanctions help. It's a way to fight an economic war because these politicians don't care about.
It's a way to fight without actually picking up a gun and fighting.
Yeah, because the politicians care less about someone actually picking up a gun and fighting than when you hit them in the pocket. That's what they hate. Joe Biden was willing to go to war because we hit him in the pocket with the Ukraine Burisma thing.
So you're okay with the sanctions, but you're not okay with the sanctions, but not okay with us going to war with them, physically going to war with them. Very okay with the sanctions. It's like I guess I can understand your point there. No American lives are getting lost. Yeah, that would be a pretty bad thing. But I don't understand, and maybe I'm just being dumb right now as usual. How can these sanctions possibly be helping the United States? And you already said that already. But the Ukraine, I feel like the Ukraine is just borrowed time. I feel like the Ukraine is like training for the USSR. I'm sorry, not the USSR. That hasn't existed since 1991. Russia, that is probably slowly but surely taking over the Ukraine. Maybe they want to be taken over. Why are we giving sanctions to a country of Ukraine that might just not even care about being taken over? Or who are we actually giving sanctions to? Maybe we're giving them to people that we don't think we're giving sanctions to.
So
the whole Biden administration is pretty incompetent.
We're sanctioning Russia, not the Ukraine. All right?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's my right here.
So we were sanctioning Russia, not the Ukraine, and that's what was doing it. I'm sure most Ukrainians would rather just become a part of Russia than go on the war. I mean, who would? I mean, like, honestly, if right now Justin Trudeau was like, I'm taking over and making America a part of Canada, would you rather go to war with Justin or just go, okay, nothing's going to change?
No, say that again. I'm sorry.
If Justin Trudeau right now said, I am...
and who is that?
The Prime Minister of Canada.
Of all of Canada? Or a part of Canada?
He's the Prime Minister.
Of Canada.
Canada.
Which part of Canada? All of Canada?
Of Canada.
Yeah, I know, but us going to war, us taking over which part of Canada? All of Canada? Or just part of Canada?
Listen to what I'm saying. So if Justin Trudeau said, I'm going to take. Just listen. I'm going to invade and take over America. You could, and we had no way to fight back. Arming every American, which we're already armed, arming every American citizen saying fight the Canadians would be disastrous. More people would die than just having Canada take over and our lives never
Wait,
never change.
you don't think we could fight Canada?
You're obviously not listening to me.
No. All right. So let me put an example out here. Say, all right. So, say like Texas. All right, if like Texas didn't belong to us, I know it's very annoying.
So continue. So what I'm saying, okay.
All right. If Texas, say they won at the fucking at the Alamo, and Texas still belonged to Mexico, and then we decide, hey, you know what? We want to take back Texas for America. All right, that kind of seems similar to the Ukraine. They're probably similar in size. All right, and we say, you know what? Fuck you for, this didn't happen. It happened kind of, but we're taking back the Alamo. We're taking back Texas for our own fucking country. Now, should Mexico go to full out war with us,
or they just let us take it?
Let us take it. Yeah.
Yeah. Less bloodshed. Let's say they speak the same language. They have the same everything. So nothing would change for the citizens if we took over. The humane thing to normally do would be like, okay, Mexico's stronger. But let's say we did that and the entire world came and we're like, we're gonna arm every Texan.
The entire world will not come if
I said no, listen to me. Let's say we did that and the entire world came for some reason, some dumb reason, the entire world came, Japan, freaking Germany, every country came. And we're like, we're gonna arm every Texan out there with the most advanced machinery we could find.
Well, we're assuming in the past that we didn't give up the Alamo.
I'm saying, yeah. And then we're gonna. Japan gave them mechs. Germany started giving them high-tech Kalashnikovs that we've never seen before. They started arming them, and they're like, fight. Way more blood. There'd be way more bloodshed, and that's what we're doing pretty much.
Yes.
Instead of just being like, okay, take it, nothing changing for anybody except now they're paying American taxes instead of Mexican taxes.
All right, I think I was a bit confused when you said Canada taking over America. Like that could be an okay thing to do.
Yeah, just like the Ukraine and Russia could be an okay thing to do. Just take over, whatever. No one cares. Putin's president. But guess what? Whatever Putin wanted before in the Ukraine already would happen. It's just they installed this new. They pretty much installed the Ukrainian president. I don't know if you know a lot about him. I actually don't want to talk about him because he is connected to the union. Look, the nose is, let's just say that about him. So we can't really talk about him much, but I'd like to deep dive on the other channel about him. But let's watch some goofy shit. How about that? Watch this.
What you doing? Hey, your mom said stop, bro. Your mom says chill, bro. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Hey, mom.
This guy, this cop not only failed to cuff him, he failed to take him down. The guy took him down, disarmed the cop, and then tased the cop.
He's still gonna hang for it.
What I'm saying, I can't stress this enough. I always think that when we look at our police departments, they are the worst thing. We choose our cops like we do military people. They go to colleges and stuff, and they find little girls who want to be cops, and they give them a badge and a gun, and they go, here you go, you're a cop. Dial us some justice. If anyone fights you, we'll call in an airstrike to take down one guy who pushed you. I think that we are doing the cop thing all wrong because I'm seeing a lot of imagine a cop in the 50s seeing a cop now. A cop in the 50s, if you pushed him, he would crack his knuckles. He'd crack his knuckles and beat the shit out of you. Because
maybe
they weren't bitches back then. Oh. They didn't have to kill you. They could just beat the fuck out of you because they were tough. They were like ex-military guys who've been who've been here and there.
In the 50s, 40s, 50s, you rob a liquor store. I'm sorry, and then you push a cop out of the way. They could get up and shoot you in the back, and they'd be right to do so.
Yeah, but more likely, that cop would have the ability to beat the fuck out of you and probably do it. And
Also
then,
that too.
And then arrest you. And you know what they would say? Oh, he fell down the stairs on the way to book him. That's what they used to do. So that was actually what they would say to the judges. Fell down the stairs at booking, and the person was sitting there all bruised up, not saying anything. Like, okay, yeah, I don't want to get in more trouble. I don't want to fall down the stairs again. So, but we got
worse.
Yeah, we got these cops now who, if you pushed them, would probably unload the clip into your back. Yes, you're right. It's a coward move to unload a whole revolver into somebody's back. But that's what we got now.
They would have gotten away with it in the 40s or 50s, but now they'll still do the same thing, but they won't get away with it.
I think we're on different pages here.
We're on completely different pages. And me and my daughter were just talking about it.
That is the most. That was the most villainous laugh I've ever heard.
Outside of the Joker.
Yeah, they should. If someone could Photoshop the Joker's makeup on that guy. Oh my God, I'm dying.
I think they get him. Did they get him?
I don't think so.
He just gets away.
I think they probably give up halfway through.
And Joker got away.
Oh man, he's like a little tubby dude. They probably can't catch him. Or a big tubby dude.
That's real too.
Yeah.
It almost seems like it's like, oh man.
Yeah, it's. I think our police force is not just incompetent, but they're bitches.
Well, it's not like it used to be too. I know we were on the same, a completely different page before, but
Sir, what
these kids, they go to college for maybe like 2 years at best, or maybe they just did like a year in the military and got dishonorably discharged, and then they're selected for the police force. They don't even know what to fucking do with the gun. They're gonna be biased. They're gonna be racist. Whatever we want to say racist is.
Speaking of not knowing what you're doing with the gun, so this is the group of Ukrainian young men, who volunteered for service. Do you know what Ukrainian men are up to? Check it out.
Not lately. No.
Check it out. Read along or whatever. Read
Young
like you're doing
Ukrainian volunteers off to the front line. Reports. Ukraine bans all male citizens aged 18 to 60 from leaving the country. Sounds nationalist.
So I think we're seeing a lot more Ukrainian men getting sexy. That's Ukrainian men, by the way.
Yeah, they look like they could be either or.
No, wait, which one are you talking about?
All of them. Except that one. He looks
No,
pretty
no, not these guys. Look at this guy.
That's a guy.
That's a guy. Yes.
Oh.
So yeah, the Ukraine's up to some real. They're pulling in some real tough guys, if you ask me.
Wait. Is that one of those tough guys?
No, that's a Russian.
11-year-old?
I think that's a Russian kid.
Yeah, I know. He's with Putin, so obviously.
Don't read the text, please.
Oh, yeah.
Also, hey, look, U.S. aid finally got to the Ukraine.
Air Force.
They got to made all kinds of food and stuff. Nice.
Sanctions.
We got some, apparently, this looks more like a Russian reinforced vehicle, but they say it looks like a Ukrainian reinforced vehicle, but they say it's Russian.
I can't tell the fucking difference. I've never been to either countries.
What are you gonna say about that reinforced vehicle?
I don't know. There's a V in front of it.
There's a V in front of it. That's the only thing weird about the vehicle. You're right.
What
Okay.
else was weird? There was wood.
It was reinforced with wood. Yeah. Let's watch another stupid video, man. I think you're getting a little sleepy. Or something.
No, go back to the other vehicle. I want to see what you have to say about it that I missed.
Check this out. Just watch closely. So I have this proposal I want to make to Joe Biden right now. There's a quote unquote refugee crisis. And in a time where there's either great famine or a war, we usually say women and children first. How about you send the women and the children, mostly the women, to America from the Ukraine, and instead of taking military-age men from South America, you send women. Because once we see these big convoys, you usually just see tons of men, right? And I'm seeing a trend when these people come over from Central South America, you see a lot of young people with them that seem like maybe they were kidnapped or smuggled or whatever, because there's a lot of that in Central and South America. So let's go ahead and watch this. I'm not sure if this is Brazil or like Mexico. I'm not sure. They're small brown people.
Spanish.
Small brown people.
Does this speak Portuguese?
It's probably Brazil then.
I don't think that's Portuguese.
I wouldn't know the difference. You'd probably have to ask Miss Gemini in here to. So look close at these people. Look at her Mexican. I think that's a Mexican. It's not a Brazilian. Well, look at her bod. What do you think about her bod?
Sexy bod.
Sexy bod. It's got totally flat tits and super long arms.
You'll never agree with me on that.
Never.
Never. Right.
I wouldn't fuck her. Nah, not me.
Oh, Lord knows I would. Why is the little girl wearing a mask?
Because she doesn't know any better. So if you've been paying attention, these guys are setting up to
Yeah, I've been keeping my eye on them the whole time. They're gonna take her, and she's gonna be a part of it.
That's what I thought at first.
Oh, she helped her away from it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was one of those things where they have the little candy store to scoop up kids. But
She helped her away from it. Yeah. All right. Good for her. She just came from a 8 to a 12 for doing that. Unless if I'm gonna miss something.
Yeah, that's it.
She's a 12 out of 10.
Are they gonna kidnap? I haven't seen the whole thing. Maybe they're gonna take her.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, I think she's in the
she's
car.
calling 911 or
She's
whatever
getting
911 may be in Brazil
No,
or
she's getting the license plate number. But guess what? It's Brazil, so those are probably cops.
She's smart. She knew. She doesn't look like a cop to me.
No.
But I was
What?
keeping my eye-
Wait, wait,
I was
wait,
keeping my eye on these guys from the start. I'm like, all right,
Can you
something's gonna happen.
let me address something you just said?
Yeah.
You said she's probably not a cop. I said they're probably cops because this is Brazil.
Is it Brazil?
Or this is a Central South American country. The cops are corrupt.
Well, yeah. 90% of cops are corrupt in Mexico.
So can you imagine you're on the plane or on the bus and you're being a jerk and you're kicking a guy's seat and he's like, "Can you stop kicking my seat?" And you're like, "Fuck you. What are you gonna do about it?"
If it was him, I'd be like, oh my God, it's Vladimir Putin.
And you turn around, he's like,
cut the shit out.
I won't tell you again. That's what I see with this. With this.
Keenan Thompson, like, oh my God, it's Vladimir Putin. All right, I'm sorry. I don't want to die right now from a fucking Russian national.
So yeah. So that's been the stream. Hopefully we'll have a little bit better one next time. All right, fireside. And we're gonna be more professional. We're not gonna cough into the microphone like I'm doing. But in the meantime, remember, you do the spill.
Oh, not the stupid misunderstanding for me.
All right, I don't know why he won't do the spill, but he will after I do it for some reason. Remember to share, like, comment, subscribe, and if you can't comment, say gibberish into our comment section. Whatever you want, we just need you to comment, please. It helps us.